If you own a construction business, have you ever said something like, we just need more leads, or I should probably hire a salesperson, or you know what, all of our work is based on referrals, and that's great. Or maybe you've thought, it seems like I send out a lot of estimates and I just never hear back. Well, if so, you're not alone, but some of those things might actually be the reason you're stuck, because here's the truth. Most construction businesses don't have a lead problem. They don't have a people problem. They have a sales system problem. Hey, you're listening to the Construction Leading Edge podcast, where it's all about systematizing your construction business to eliminate chaos and maximize profit, freedom, and impact. My name is Todd Dawalt, the founder at constructionleadingedge.com, and my team and I have helped over 400 construction business companies streamline their operations and grow their profits and take control of their businesses. In this episode, we're going to cover 7 of the most common sales pitfalls that are holding construction business owners back and costing you profit and freedom. We'll talk about the real truth behind each one of those and how to shift your thinking toward building a sales machine that doesn't depend on you or people in general. And there's also a bonus one that could surprise you. Make sure and stick around for that one. And at the end, I'll share about how you can help shape the new sales machine training program that I'm building and what it could mean for your future. There's actually a link in the show notes where you can take a quick survey that I'll talk more about. So let's get into it. Here is the first pitfall that's costing you profit and freedom. It sounds like this. Well, the first thing I need to do is hire someone. Let me tell you a story. I hired a salesperson a while back, and I thought I was ready. I had a detailed job description. I had metrics in place. I had software for them to use. And the thought process was, I'll hire a sales pro who is better at this than me and let them finish building out the process for me, right? Makes sense. Maybe you've thought the same thing. So I went through this extensive recruiting process with a recruiter, personality profiles, multiple interviews, and I hired a guy with years of sales experience in the industry, spent over a month onboarding and training him, and I was looking forward to him taking what I had built and making it his own because he was the sales pro. And I was really looking forward to him taking over sales for me so it would free me up to do something else. And it didn't work. I spent so much time telling him what to do, then correcting things that he did wrong, micromanaging him. It was the most stressful thing that I had dealt with. It was frustrating for me, and it was also very frustrating for him. And after 3 or 4 months, we agreed to part ways. And I realized that while he had done some things wrong, did not do what he should have done, I realized that I had set him up for failure by not having a complete sales machine built out for him to plug into, right? So if you're thinking hiring somebody feels like the right move because you're slammed, you're trying to keep up, there's a pretty good chance that is a set up for failure without a system. So if you're thinking hiring someone is the first thing you need to do, the truth is hiring someone to do sales is closer to the last thing you need to do. You need a sales machine that somebody can plug into, all right? The second pitfall that's very common is, all right, we need to scale up, so we just need more leads. We just need more leads. There's a pretty good chance you don't have a lead problem. It's a pretty good chance you have a different problem. Let me know if this sounds familiar. Leads are coming in, but there's a pretty good chance that some of them are slipping through the cracks. Maybe you're spending time with unqualified leads and tire kickers, people whose projects are never going to happen. They don't have the budget. Their projects are too small. Maybe you're too busy to get back to people promptly, or not following up on proposals that you've sent out, or kicking out estimates and not hearing back. We'll talk more about that before we're done. Let me ask you this. Have you ever had a lead contact you, and then when you get back to them, they say something like, oh yeah, well, we already found somebody else to do that, or this other person responded faster? Have you ever been driving around town and you saw a project going up that you proposed on, but you never heard back, and you're wondering, well, why did they get the job and I didn't? I never even had a conversation about it. How many deals do you think you may have lost because one of your competitors was more responsive? If you think about maybe if you were to spend a little time scrolling through your inbox, how many opportunities are sitting in your inbox from the past year that you didn't get back to in time or you didn't follow up with? Here's the deal. If you don't have a system for tracking leads, qualifying leads, following up with your leads, there's a good chance that the first problem you need to solve before you try to generate more leads is to fix your leaky bucket. If you have a leaky bucket, so to speak, and you just try to pour more water into it, it's just going to leak out faster. So if you think you need more leads, the first place to start is solve your leaky bucket. Track those leads. Set up a system to follow up with those leads, follow up with proposals, and fix your leaky bucket before you try to add more volume to it. Third pitfall is very common with successful builders, remodelers, general contractors of all sorts. It's depending on referrals and word of mouth. So a lot of people would say, we don't advertise, we don't have to advertise, heck, we don't even have a website because all of our work is word of mouth. It's all based on referrals. Well, referrals are not a lead generation strategy. They're a side effect of one. And you can't scale a business that's based on something you don't control. If you don't have the levers in your hands, you have no control over that. And referrals are great when they come in, but relying on them, relying on word of mouth is sort of like relying on the weather, all right? So you need a proactive lead generation strategy. If you want to scale your business, if you want to be in control of your business, you need a proactive lead generation strategy. So I went through an exercise like this with a client recently to try to come up with an idea of how many leads do they need. So this is what we call right to left thinking. So we start from the right side of the page with a sales target, and we want to work our way from right to left and end up with how many leads do we actually need every month? Wouldn't that be helpful to know how many leads do you need to generate every month? So here's how it works. They wanted to set a sales target of $10 million in annual sales, right? So the average contract amount, to make the math simple, let's say it was $1 million. So they need 10 signed construction agreements per year. So now we get into some math. The conversion rate from the pre-construction service agreement to signed contract was 80%. And I'll pause there. If you're doing free estimates, you got to stop. Free estimates are killing you, gobbling up your time, not setting you up for success. In fact, they're putting you into a vicious cycle. So if you're doing free estimates, you got to stop, and you need to switch to a pre-construction service agreement-based sales process. And you can go to constructionleadingedge.com/start to get our entire masterclass on how to get paid for estimates. All right. So in this case, the sales process is step 1, sign a pre-construction service agreement. Step 2 is sign a construction agreement. All right. So we need 10 signed construction agreements. The conversion rate from pre-construction agreement to signed contract is 80%. All right. So if we take 10 divided by 0.8, that means we need about 13 signed pre-construction agreements per year. And those are going to convert to 10 signed construction contracts. So let's say we need 1 per month on average. All right, what's the conversion rate on pre-construction service agreements? In other words, what percentage of pre-construction agreements that we present actually gets signed? Let's say it's 33%. All right, so 13 divided by 0.33 is 40. So we need 40 pre-construction service agreements presented every year, and we're going to convert on 1/3 of them. Now, how many leads do we need to create those pre-construction service agreements? Well, the first question is, what percentage of our leads qualify for a pre-construction service agreement? Not every lead that comes through is qualified. So let's say 1/3 of our leads qualify for a pre-construction agreement. So 40 divided by 0.33 is 121 leads. So we need 121 leads per year. And if we run through the math, let's break it down by month. Say 10 leads per month will lead to 3 pre-construction service agreements per month that are presented. We will sign 1 pre-construction service agreement per month, and that will lead to 10 signed contracts per year, $10 million in revenue. So it's a numbers game. In this case, all he needs to do is generate 10 leads per month consistently. If you can do that with referrals, great, but you need to think, how can I proactively generate that? So if you want to scale up, let's say if you want to scale up to $15 million a year, how do you do it with referrals? It's very difficult. But when you have the levers in your hands, you can scale up. You can simply revise the numbers. You can either increase the dollar amount of your contracts, or you can increase the number of leads, or you can increase the conversion rates. You have a few levers in there that you can pull. But it all begins with having a proactive lead generation strategy. Okay, pitfall number 4 is this: thinking people buy because of me. Maybe you think people are buying a relationship with me, or they're buying an experience with me, the builder, the remodeler, the tradesperson, the general contractor, etc. The truth is, clients aren't, this may sting a little bit, but they're not buying an experience with you. All right? You're a side effect. Your clients are buying an end result, and they are buying the certainty that you can deliver that end result. In some cases, they are putting up with the builder or the remodeler in order to get to the certainty of the end result that they want. So let's not be so delusional to think that people are buying an experience with you, okay? When our clients sign up with us, they're looking for an end result. And they're buying the certainty that they can get the end result that they're looking for. They're not paying to spend time with Todd Dawalt. And your clients are probably not paying to spend time with you. They are paying for the certainty that you can deliver the end result they want. You may be the face of the business now, but if sales only happen when you're in the room, you may be delusional, but your business may also be capped. So instead of thinking people buy because of me, think people are buying the certainty that we can deliver the end result that they're looking for. And your job is to create a process that earns their trust with or without you. And it can be done without you. Pitfall number 5 is to think, I can't train somebody to sell like I do. I heard about a contractor once who said, when I'm selling, when I'm in the zone, I just do what feels right. These ideas come to me. I just know what to say. I know when to talk, when to not talk. I'm a peacock, man. You just got to let me fly. I'm a free range pony. And you just can't teach that. Right? People either have it or you don't. Well, after this perhaps delusional person recorded a few of their sales calls, he realized that when things went well, he was doing the same things every time. When things didn't go well, he wasn't doing certain things. So he realized, there's a process that I follow when things go well. I'm saying certain things, I'm bringing up certain points, I'm asking certain questions, and that became a script. And that script became part of a system. And that system became scalable. The magic is not you. The magic is the repeatable process that currently lives in your head. So you can, in fact, train someone to sell like you, perhaps even better. If you can do it, you can document it. And if you can document it, you can delegate it. Pitfall number 6 to watch out for is, it sounds something like, well, you know what? If they're serious, they'll call me back. I'm a treasure to work with. It's a privilege to work with me. So if they're serious, they'll call me back. I'm the prize, right? They need to chase me. Well, here's the deal. Think about in your life, you get busy, life gets in the way, you get busy with client work, and it's the same way for your prospects, okay? And if you're not following up, your competitors probably are. But you may be thinking, Todd, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to be this sleazy sales guy. Well, let me ask you this. Do you believe you offer a great finished product? Do you feel like you build quality projects? Do you provide at least a reasonably good experience for your clients? Do you believe that you're one of the best in your market? Are there some other guys in your market who are shady? Maybe you've had some experiences, heard where people have had a bad project with some of your competitors. Well, if you've answered yes to some or most of those questions, then you have a moral obligation to follow up with those people. If you provide a good product, good experience, and there are competitors out there in the marketplace who could take advantage of those people, you're being selfish by not following up with them. And you need to get over yourself, because if you really care about these people and you want to serve them, you have a moral obligation to follow up with these people. So follow-up should be built into your sales system. It should be automated, it should be delegated, and it should be consistent. And without follow-up, you're probably leaving money on the table, and you're not serving your prospects very well. All right. Pitfall number 7 is thinking, well, sales is all about personality. How am I going to find this unicorn salesperson? They've got to be an extrovert. They've got to know construction. They've got to know everything about building luxury. I had a question on a webinar recently. Will we build luxury homes in this one specific neighborhood of one specific market in Florida? Well, if you believe that you have to find a unicorn who checks all of those boxes, you're going to have a hard time finding that person. If you think sales is all about personality, here's the deal. Personality doesn't scale. Process does. All right. You don't need to find a unicorn. You need to build a system that allows someone with average skills and good character to win consistently. So don't hire unicorns. Build a process that average people can thrive in. This is how companies scale, is they build systems that average people with good character can thrive in. They don't design their process around unicorns. They don't design their business around special snowflakes. They design their business to have consistent processes that average people with good character can thrive in. And that's what you want to do. Okay, let's talk about this bonus. Here's the bonus pitfall. This one may sting a little bit. It sounds something like estimating and sales are the same, right? But the truth is, estimating and sales are completely different. There's very little overlap between the skill set of an estimator and the skill set of a good sales professional. So estimators focus on pricing accuracy, super detail-oriented risk aversion. Sales is about relationships, about building trust. It's about psychology and about momentum. Putting an estimator in a sales seat without training or a good system, it's a recipe for stalled deals and failure. And if you're just emailing out estimates, if you're one of those people who are saying, I send out a lot of estimates, I email estimates out to people, but I never hear back. Well, if you're just emailing out estimates, you are not selling. Emailing out estimates is not selling. And if that's what you're doing, you're really missing out, because every time you ask somebody to make a buying decision, you need to have a sales conversation with them. Buying decisions, this is proven, buying decisions are 95% emotional. We have an emotional part of the brain and a logical part of the brain, and buying decisions are 95% emotional decisions. Estimating is 100% logical. And there's a pretty good chance you're missing out because you're not talking to the part of the brain that's making the buying decision. So estimating is logic, sales is mostly emotional. And if you're not talking to that emotional buying part of the brain, you are completely missing out. So sales and estimating are completely different. And it's very possible that you're completely missing out on the selling part of the business. All right, so those are the pitfalls to watch out for. Curious which of those resonate with you if you're watching this on YouTube, or if there's a way to comment, leave a comment below. Be curious to know which of those pitfalls sounds familiar to you. And now I want you to picture this. Imagine that you walk into your office on a Monday morning, you flip open your laptop to look at your sales dashboard. You see that leads have been coming in steadily over the weekend. These leads are being nurtured. The leads are being qualified. The sales team is moving these leads through a well-documented process. The sales team is generating proposals, having sales conversations. You see sales presentations happening in your office. Your pipeline is full. You can be selective about which projects you take and who you work with. You can sell at a premium price. And then you're freed up to spend your time planning and leading and doing strategic stuff. No more chasing, no more reacting, no more apologizing for missing things. And contracts are getting signed while you're on vacation. Deals are getting inked without your involvement. Things are running smoothly without you. Well, it doesn't just have to be a fantasy. That's happening. And big companies have figured out how to do this. And it's because they've built a sales machine. And that's what happens when you build a sales machine that runs without you. And it starts by shifting your thinking and avoiding a lot of these very costly pitfalls that we just talked about. So the truth is, your problems are not all out there. All right. The problems are not with insufficient leads. Problems are not with the salespeople. The good news is you're the problem. The bad news is you're the problem. That's good news because you can do something about that. So if any of those pitfalls hit close to home and you realize, I'm the problem here, here's the good news. All right. Every one of them is fixable. That's exactly what this new program that we're working on, the sales machine, is being designed to do. So I'm creating this program to help you systematize your sales process so you close deals faster. You have a systematic process to follow. You can delegate sales if you'd like to, or just streamline the sales process if you want to continue to sell. But before I finish building it out, I need your help to make sure that we cover everything. So would you do me a favor and take a 2-minute survey and share your biggest sales challenges and rate some of the things that we're considering putting into the program? Your answers to the survey will directly shape the program, and it's going to help me build out a resource that makes your business less dependent on you and more profitable and help you scale. So if you would do me a favor, click the link in the show notes and take the 2-minute survey. I would really appreciate your input. Hey, it's Todd. Before you go, if you own a construction business and you know you need to put the right systems in place, whether it's to be able to scale up, to be able to take a proper vacation, step away from day-to-day operations, if you know you need to make it more profitable, or even prepare it for a future sale, if you know you need to make some changes in your business, there are really only 3 options. And I want to clarify this for you. Option 1 is do nothing. Keep doing the status quo. Same inputs, same results. Keep doing the same thing that you've been doing. Option 2 is to DIY it, to do it yourself. You can try to reinvent the wheel, piece together solutions from books and podcasts, hope that trial and error gets you where you want to go. In my experience, this is the path of most resistance. Or there's option 3, which is to find a proven system that delivers the results you're looking for. Think about it. Sort of like when you sign up for software for project management or bookkeeping, you probably didn't try to code your own software, right? You found a system that works. So that's a proven system that gets you the results you're looking for. Well, if you're ready to systematize your construction business, we've helped hundreds of construction business owners implement our proven processes, including our nail the handoff pre-construction system that works for home builders, remodelers, commercial general contractors, and trade contractors like electricians, plumbers, roofers. The first step is simple. Schedule a free business evaluation call with my team. Just click the link in the show notes to book your call. On that call, you'll walk away with clarity on the hidden root causes of your biggest challenges. You'll learn about the pitfalls that you want to avoid as you move forward with your business, and you'll walk away with a customized roadmap that you can follow to get where you want to go. This is not a sales pitch, okay? There's no pressure. We may not even talk about working together. You may not even hear about our program. This is all about evaluating your business. It's going to be the most valuable hour that you've spent working on your business in a long time. So don't wait. Click the link in the show notes to book your free business evaluation call now. And the last thing, if you've been enjoying this podcast and getting value out of it, I've got a quick favor to ask. Could you take a moment and leave a 5-star rating and maybe a short review on the platform that you're listening or watching on? It really helps the podcast grow. It lets other people know what to expect. Plus, I love to hear your feedback. It means a lot to me. Thanks so much. My name is Todd Dawalt from ConstructionLeadingEdge.com, and I'll catch you on the next episode.